This week's Guitar Blog Insider is going to cover scale applications that have to do with developing a better connection to melody. And what we're going to do is take a common minor pentatonic scale in the key of A, and we're going to use it to build a melody that just flows better through the use of having a little bit more space rhythmically. I'll play it for you first, and then we're going to break it all down so you really understand the concepts and how you can start applying it to your own guitar parts. Here's the melody. Well, as you can tell, this melody does have space that follows after each of the chords enter. And what I want to start with is just going through the chord changes and get you acquainted with the harmony that's happening. So right at the beginning there, we're starting on an A minor chord, and we're using that chord for 2 measures through. Then at that point, we're going to move over to a D minor. Then head back to A, into an F major this time, up to a G major, and C major, G major again, and then taking it back to the top. So the A minor chord is really important. You can tell it sort of really feeds back there all the time. And you know, we have that D minor that occurs as well. That's kind of an interesting sound from the 4 minor chord. And then it's kind of nice the way we drift off to the F, lead back up to the G, have that punch off of the C chord, and then the G returning to be able to pull us back to the top. So we have some nice harmony. It's 8 bars worth in length, so there's lots of time if you want to try different kinds of melodic ideas and just branch out to, you know, all over the neck with different kinds of concepts. But the main part that we want to focus on in this lesson plan here is to get going on adding space. You know, you can tell I'm not playing really fast. There's no crazy hypersonic 16th note runs or anything like that. It's all pretty basic, and it's a lot of 8th notes combined with a lot of length of time spent on vital tones. So now let's take a look at this melody and find out what exactly is going on here. So we're starting off on a C tone to get things rolling on the 5th fret of the 3rd string, and then we're rolling through an A to an E, G back to A, and at that point we've got lots of sustain. We've got basically, let's see, 4 beats worth of time sustaining on that A. And like with a lot of these lessons, the tab is going to be posted on my Blogger page eventually, so make sure you're following me on my Blogger page. But you know, you can tell there, if you have the chart and you're looking at it, there's lots of time spent on that A as we come back to it. 4 beats in total. And then when the D minor chord comes around, we're going to point into that D, and then we're going to have some turnaround lines pointing back again at that D, so lots of time on the root of that chord. And you know, as we saw in the A minor, we were on the root of that chord as well, so lots of time on the A there. So as you can see in these first 4 bars, we've got lots of length, you know, after we make statements. It's like there's a melodic statement that occurs, we've got spread of time on there, there's a span of time that is sustaining and giving the listener a chance to absorb what's going on, and then we're moving onwards from there, and we're coming around with some, you know, turnaround lick ideas, but then coming again to very important chord tones. Now, speaking of which, let's go to the next bar, because at that point we're going to head back to A minor and then head to an F major. So we're going to start off pointing off that C tone again. That's an important tone if you're wondering why I started on the C tone, because it's the minor 3rd of our A minor chord. So really nice strong color tone off that A. But we're going to sort of blend back to the sound of the A again when we reach into the F chord. And the reason why that A works so nicely on the F chord is the A is a major 3rd to the root of that chord. So really strong chord tone, lots of good color on there. And once again in the melody, we're sustaining on that A tone. We're leaving it hang while that F major chord is resonating, so we get lots of good connection, and we have lots of time again to build the listener's awareness of the value of that note in the melody. Then what's going to happen next is we're going to do a line down from 4th string going A, G, and then E, D. And at the point where we reach into the D tone, that's our perfect 5th off of the G chord. And we're going to resonate there for a little bit, have some hang around time on that D. And then there's a punch into the C major chord, and in the melody there we're going to point into the C tone and have that tone appear when the C chord appears. And then when we go back to the G chord again, we're going to be pointing once more at that perfect 5th, at that D tone. And so in that respect, you know, on those final measures as we come to the 8th bar, we're just spending a lot of time pointing at either strong chord tones like the perfect 5th there, and also the root of that C chord when it appears as well. So when we go through this melody and we look at what's really happening, is a lot of direction onto chord tones. As I'm sure you've heard me speak many times in the past, if you've followed my videos, I talk a lot about the value of the chord tones because they are the sweet spot notes of the chord. They're excellent to land on when you have a certain chord, like let's say you know, you're on a D minor, you land on an F or you land on an A. Those are really nice strong tones on that chord because it's again the minor 3rd in that case and the perfect 5th. So 3rds and 5ths on the triads are fantastic. You know, even if you had extended chords, like let's say you had a D major 9, well, getting into the sound of that 9, you know, in your melody, if you play a melodic line, really strong connection because again, it's a chord tone, and the higher that we can take those up on the upper register strings, the more they're going to lock in to the listener's ear. Now, when it comes to length of time on chords, that's another important criteria. That's really the whole point of this video, is spending time, you know, giving those tones that are valuable length. And so that means when the listener is listening to the melody, they lock up, they appreciate the value of that note at that given point in time. And for us as, you know, guitar players, we can take one of those notes and we can just sustain it, give it a little bit of vibrato, just to, you know, have that sort of shake to it and let it resonate nicely, and also give it that length, you know, because the vibrato is giving a little bit more push on that tone as well. So there's things that we can do in terms of embellishment, in terms of articulation, and most importantly though, we're focusing on the value of the note in time because we have the length behind it and we're allowing the listener to appreciate that note's appearance. So I hope that you can take away some good information on this. Go forward, start using these principles in your own playing. They will make a difference. I guarantee you that. Sometimes people just will play a lot of licks that they've known for a long time, and maybe a lot of those licks are really fast. They sound cool, they're fantastic to play fast licks, you know, they sound real awesome, but you know, at the same time they're kind of flashy attention getting ideas. So you know, the idea of length and sustain through rhythm is just the opposite, but it's another way to really draw your listener in. So you know, take these ideas to heart. So anyway, thanks for joining me. If you want to learn a little bit more about what I do as an online guitar teacher, then head over to my website. Simple, just creativeguitarstudio.com. Go over there, sign up for your free lifetime membership. All you need to do is just put in your username and password. You can create that on the spot, and you do not need to enter a credit card number. I know a lot of websites make you do that. You don't have to do that with mine. Just check it out. You can go right inside and you can see everything as a free member. You'll get a great perspective to exactly what I'm offering. A lot of the videos you can even, you know, just watch the first one. You know, there's a lot of free stuff as a free member. I have all these videos called Quick Licks I think you're going to really like, and there's lots of them. There's like 30 of them on there, so it's like, imagine all the licks that are within there. And that's all part of the package for the free members. Now, at some point, you may feel like you want to start accessing more material, especially if you kind of, you know, peruse the ideas of the guitar program that are in there, and you want to check out a little bit more what's happening in the introductory and the intermediate and the advanced course. You can buy a basic membership, and that'll give you access to all those videos. But I also have a premium membership, which unlocks everything. You get all the worksheets, you get all the MP3 jams for all the courses and all the electives, because there's just loads and loads of information on my site. So go check it out, grab a free membership, go through there. I think you're really going to appreciate all the effort that I put into organizing the curriculum that's in there for you right now. I'd also be interested to hear your thoughts on everything I've talked about in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again, and I'll catch up with you next week on my other channel for another episode of the Guitar Blog Insider. When it comes to online guitar lessons, there's no place better than CreativeGuitarStudio.com. General membership to the site is always free, and paid memberships to access our step-by-step beginner, intermediate, and advanced guitar programs are offered in reasonable monthly and annual packages. Skype lessons are also available if you need more specific instruction one-on-one to discuss the finer details of your guitar playing. Sign up today at CreativeGuitarStudio.com. I've got 25 years experience teaching guitar and have written a well-organized step-by-step guitar course. Head over to my website at CreativeGuitarStudio.com and sign up for a free membership today. Join the thousands of members worldwide who have already enrolled. There's no need to try learning the guitar on your own. Let me help you become the best guitar player that you can be.